I think language is very important. Navajo is my first language. So I grew up speaking, Navajo until I got into the school. English is my second language. It's a very valuable source of communication with, what I do, what I see, what I practice. I best explain a color in my language or a plant in my own language. Like, for example, dotlish is a term used for the color blue and green, but the distinction is we can say dotlish nhalong, kos nhalong dotlish. What I'm saying is I'm talking about the blue that's like the color of the sky. Or I could use the same word dotlish, which would describe a plant, the green. So there's that relationship, which is very, very interesting.
Like you were saying, there's so much that it just gets lost in translation. And so like within my work, like some of the pieces that I make have translations in English, so Hawaiian and English, and other times I'm just like, there's no way I can translate this name of a place or this name of a deity. It's gonna be what it is, and I don't have to translate it. And I think like mentally fighting back against like the expectation for non-native audiences, to translate all of our work into an accessible language. English is something that I am always kind of like trying to navigate. And I grew up between Oregon and Hawaii, and I went to a school for Native Hawaiian kids where we learned a lot of like our language and our cultural practices for most of my childhood. And growing up with people speaking Hawaiian language around me and like learning our chants and our songs, it really instilled this idea that operating from like an English speaking mindset versus a Native Hawaiian speaking mindset, an Olelo mindset, they're two different worlds. I think language really just reflects place, and it reflects the people that are indigenous to that place.
Why I think it's really important to me and what I do as a tapestry artist is how I describe my work, because place has a big impact on how I create my patterns, my colors, and my tapestries. So and then when I have to translate, the information into English, I have to think twice. Sometimes it doesn't come out right, sometimes it doesn't sound right, but and I always think you think in your language whether you're writing Navajo or in English, which sometimes I think complicates a description, but I have to learn to accommodate myself in both languages. If there's something I can't translate, I just write it in my language or in English. I mean, there are a lot of words that can't be interpreted too.
Sometimes I hear a language that might be familiar to me or unfamiliar to me, but in some ways it sounds like the land that it comes from. I think that's like really powerful because it just everything ties back to the land. And we believe that like our land wants to hear us speak the language, like our native tongue. And so making this work has kind of reinvigorated this, this spark in me to start speaking my language again. English was my first language, but I grew up around Hawaiian language speakers, and now that there's such a resurgence of language transmission and immersion schools with younger generations, I think that's like just a powerful thing to be able to be making in the context of, and it's really beautiful to like be helping bring this practice back, but then also have kids in our community working to bring our language back, and so many other people with different roles with like traditional agriculture and fishing and carving and like sea voyaging, all of us, you know, trying to contribute in different ways to revitalize and strengthen our identity as Native Hawaiian people in 2025.